this is a very interesting because it involved so many factors. Yeah. For example, bifidobacteria, lactic acid bacteria, and natto bacteria, they all play roles. This interplay is interesting. How to increase longevity bacteria found in Japanese centenarians. That's something I'm going to talk about today, so stick around. Hi, my name is Hachiaki Takamiya. I am the author of the Ikigai Diet and Ikigai Biohacking. Okay, so this is the continuation of my last video. Yeah, so the actual title of the video was what is the longevity bacteria discovered in Japanese centenarians? The Kyotango Study Explained. Yeah, and thank you so much for watching this video. Actually, this video went viral. Yeah, within 3 days, yeah, there has been 23K views already. This is incredible for this channel because my most popular video had 23K views. And that is, how to make natto from a wild plant by Natto King. Yeah, that has been my most popular video. And it took me like nearly, over a year to have that many views. But this video just, we're probably breaking the record. It's tying that video within just 3 days. This is incredible. Yeah. So thank you so much for watching this video. And thank you so much for giving me so many comments. Yeah. I'm sorry I haven't been able to answer your comments. Actually, I'm pretty busy at the moment with a new book. I'm writing a new book now, but thanks to you, I just finished the first draft of this new book, so I'm very happy about it. Yeah, but I'll try to answer some of your questions as much as possible. Maybe in the next videos or so, maybe I'll make some Q&A video again to answer some of your questions too. That is probably easier for me. Yeah, right. But anyway, so in the last video, I talked about Kyotango region in Japan. This is in Kyoto Prefecture because Kyotango is a longevity hotspot in Japan at the moment. There are 3 times as many centenarians than the national average. Yeah. And there is a special longevity study going on at the moment. It's called Kyotango Longevity Cohort Research. Yeah. And in this research, they discovered that there's longevity bacteria, or what they call the longevity bacteria, in the gut of the senior citizens in Kyotango region. And these bacteria are called butyrate-producing bacteria. Yeah, that's what I talked about in the last video. And today, I will share with you how to increase butyrate-producing bacteria. Now, this is a very interesting because it involved so many factors. Yeah, for example, bifidobacteria, lactic acid bacteria, and natto bacteria, they all play roles. This interplay is interesting. Yeah. So I'll talk about this towards the end of this video, so please stay tuned. But before, I'd like to talk about some other dietary measures to increase this butyrate-producing bacteria, because there's certain food you can eat to support it. Yeah. Now, first of all, some of you asked me questions about supplement. Are there any supplements for it? Yeah, apparently there are some supplements. Maybe not butyrate-producing bacteria itself, but butyrate. You can find tons of supplement to absorb butyrate. So that's one way. Yeah, but it is often recommended that it is good to increase pre-existing butyrate-producing bacteria in the gut. So how to grow it in your gut? So this is by feeding certain food to your gut microbiome. That is critical, right? Now, generally, I don't recommend supplement that much. I'm not against supplement, but I don't recommend it so much. Yeah. For details, please watch my other video. It's called The Truth About Supplements for Health and Sustainability. Right. Now, and also you cannot increase butyrate-producing bacteria alone. Yeah, it is increased through collaboration with other beneficial bacteria, such as bifidobacteria, and natto bacteria. However, there are some feeds for butyrate-producing bacteria, and yeah, so what can be a good feed for butyrate-producing bacteria, right? So one is highly fermentable dietary fiber. Oh, by the way, I am referencing this book today. Yeah, this was written by Dr. Yuji Naito, who is in this Kyotango longevity cohort research. He is a doctor at Kyoto Prefectural University of Medicine. Yeah. So according to Dr. Naito, yeah, highly fermentable dietary fiber is the key to increasing butyrate-producing bacteria, and especially soluble dietary fiber. Yeah. So what food contain soluble dietary fiber? Seaweed and beans. Yeah. So those two foods I mentioned in the last video that people in Kyotango eat a lot. Yeah. And then this was the same as the diet of long-lived villages that Dr. Soji Kondo discovered many years ago. Yeah. For those of you who are not familiar with Dr. Soji Kondo, so he is the author of long-lived villages and short-lived villages in Japan. So he did his research a long time ago, back in 1935 to 1971. Yeah, he spent 36 years traveling around Japan, visiting 990 towns and villages, and then he discovered many long-lived villages and short-lived villages. And he compared the diet between the two. Yeah. And the people in long-lived villages were eating a lot of seaweed and soybeans. Right. So this was, 30 years before Dan Buettner's Blue Zones research. Yeah. So yeah, it's incredible so that many years ago there was this kind of research. I mean, it's a very incredible, valuable research, but most people don't know about it. Even in Japan, yeah, Dr. Shoji Kondo is not well known at all. Yeah. But anyway, so soybeans and seaweed seem to be the key. So does it mean you have to eat Japanese food to increase this bacteria? No, not at all. Yeah, like oats or berry, yeah, and fruits like strawberries, yeah, they all contain soluble dietary fiber. So there are plenty of ingredients in the Western diet, yeah. So for some examples of food with highly fermentable fiber, not necessarily soluble fiber, but highly fermentable fiber, oats, barley, whole wheat, brown rice, boiled soybeans, steamed soybeans, roasted soybean flour, soy milk, chickpeas, peas, kidney beans. Yeah, and burdock, onions, Jerusalem antioch, carrots, broccoli, morheya, that's an Egyptian vegetable, Brussels sprouts, garlic, kiwi, avocado, lemon, kombu, wakame. Yeah, but if you search under highly fermentable fiber, you can find lots of other ingredients as well. Yeah. Okay, so what about insoluble dietary fiber? Yeah, because there are soluble dietary fiber and insoluble dietary fiber, right? So when you talk about the gut microbiome or healthy gut microbiome, you need to go to those two people, Dr. Erica and Justine Sonnenburg. They're the Stanford researchers. Yeah, she's a Dr. Rhonda Patrick, by the way. Yeah. So recently I found out that Dr. Rhonda Patrick was the first scientist to start this kind of podcast programs. Now there are so many like Andrew Huberman, Peter Thiel, yeah. But apparently Rhonda Patrick was the first one. Yeah. And actually, I watched this video a long time ago. And at that time, I didn't even know who Rhonda Patrick was. I was searching for Sonnenberg's video. And then I found this one, then I watched it. that was before even, discovering Andrew Huberman and Peter Thiel, David Sinclair, and all those people, including Rhonda Patrick. I watch those, their videos now a lot. But yeah, this video was the first one that I watched of this kind, really. But anyway, so Sonnenberg say there's two foods for a healthy gut microbiome. One is fiber, yeah, whether it's a soluble or insoluble fiber, and then fermented foods. So fiber and fermented foods are the key to healthy gut microbiome, right? And then talking about the gut microbiome, there's another doctor, Dr. Will Bulsiewicz, yeah, the author of Fiber Field, yeah. He talks about diversity, yeah. It is critical to, eat diverse fiber because there's so many different kind of microbes in your gut, and each microbe consumes different kind of fiber. Yeah. So by feeding only particular type of fiber can, produce only particular kind of microbe. Yeah. But it is critical to have a diverse microbe in your gut. Therefore, just try to consume as many different kinds of fiber as possible. Therefore, whether it is a soluble dietary fiber or insoluble dietary fiber, you need lots of fiber, right? Okay. Now, the whole grain seems to be the key anyway, because according to Dr. Naito, the researcher of Kyotango longevity cohort study, because in many countries, whole grains are staple food, so you eat a lot, yeah? So by eating whole grain, automatically you consume a high amount of, soluble dietary fiber, yeah. And also, there's interesting study in this Kyotango thing is, so in Kyoto City, the people who consume whole grain, the people who consume whole grain is just 11%, but in Kyotango City, 27%. Yeah, so they seem to consume a lot of brown rice or rice with barley, yeah, more in Kyotango City. Right. And then Dr. Naito also talks about brown colored food contain a lot of soluble fiber, such as brown rice or buckwheat. Yeah. So you just need to look for the brown color. Okay. Now, so from the Ikigai diet point of view, I recommend actual grains than flour. I mean, whole wheat flour is okay. Whole wheat flour is better than white flour. Yeah. However, if you can try to eat the whole grain itself, such as eating in the form of wheat berries or oat groats, yeah, you can cook them just like you can cook brown rice. Or you can even make fermented wheat berries or fermented oat groats, just like making fermented brown rice. For details, I talked about it in my book, Chapter 9, Wheat versus Rice, the Ikigai Diet for Europeans. Yeah? Okay, so the other thing you need is vitamin B1. This helps beneficial bacteria produce short-chain fatty acid. Yeah, short-chain fatty acid is critical in your gut. And then butyrate is, I think, short-chain fatty acid. Yeah. Okay, like foods like pork or beans, whole grains, and nuts. Yeah. You also need vitamin D, and that promotes gut microbial diversity. Yeah. So, oily fish, mushrooms, eggs, and sunlight. Yeah. And that is another reason the morning sunlight exposure is beneficial. Yeah. Um, and oily fish, talking about oily fish, of course, omega-3 fatty acid, DHA and EPA. Yeah. And they help increase beneficial bacteria in your gut. Okay. So what are the beneficial bacteria? Bifidobacteria and lactic acid bacteria. Yeah. So what food contains those? Yogurt, milk, kefir, sourdough bread, sauerkraut, kimchi, yeah, and lactic pretty much the same. Yeah, I think those foods contain both, yeah, bifido and lactic acid bacteria. Yeah. What about natto then? Yeah, which role does natto play here? Yeah, well, natto bacteria is called saccharifying bacteria. Yeah, and you need saccharifying bacteria in this interplay. Yeah, because saccharifying bacteria break down the ingested dietary fiber and oligosaccharides into sugars. And lactic acid bacteria use these sugars to produce lactic acid, and bifidobacteria use those sugars to produce lactic acid and acetic acid. And using lactic acid, butyrate-producing bacteria can also produce butyric acid. Yeah, so they all play together to create this harmony. Yeah, so just like orchestra. Yeah, every instrument is important. It's not like one instrument is doing all the job. So often these days, people think kind of linearly, like, oh, muscle, you need the protein. But the question is, I mean, of course, protein is important, but question is protein with what? Yeah. So do not think linearly or kind of separate the nutrient thing, but think holistically, how different nutrient and bacteria play together to harmonize this, incredible kind of miracle in our body, really. Yeah. So the bottom line, so what food can you eat? Yeah. The answer is mago wa yasashii koku. So this is the way to absorb diverse fiber in your gut. Yeah. So what are mago wa yasashii koku? Yeah. So ma means beans, and go nuts and seeds, wa seaweeds, ya vegetables, sa fish, si mushrooms, e tubers, or whole grains, and fu fruit. Yeah. So I added two. Ko means kokumotsu in Japanese, means whole grains, and then ku is kudamono, means fruit. Yeah. So basically eating those, then you can diversify your fiber intake. Well, fish doesn't contain fiber, but again, fish is a great source of omega-3 fatty acid and vitamin D. All right. Plus, of course, you need fermented food. Yeah, that's what Justine and Erika Sonnenburg said. Both fiber and fermented food, especially the combination of bifidobacteria, lactic acid bacteria, and natto bacteria. Those two are often kind of set. Yeah. So think of those two combinations. Maybe kimchi natto is good, or yogurt and natto is good. Yeah. And as for the kimchi natto, I've got a great recipe in my book. Yeah, natto unleashed. Yeah, there is a kimchi natto, but a whole bunch of other natto recipes. Yeah. All right. So the bottom line: eat mango wa yasashi koku with fermented foods. Now, for the gut microbiota and also autophagy, please read Ikigai Biohacking too. So there's a chapter 4, how to eat to help autophagy and your gut microbiota. Now, I didn't talk about autophagy, but there are some foods that can activate autophagy as well. And some of those foods can also help your gut microbiota too. So to understand it even more deeply, yeah, please include autophagy, because autophagy is critical for your health and longevity. So today, basically, I talked about diet, the dietary measure to increase butyrate-producing bacteria. But in the next video, I'll talk about other measures such as exercise or other, lifestyle to increase butyrate-producing bacteria. Right. All right. Thank you for watching. Again, my name is Hachiaki Takamiya, the author of the Ikigai Diet and Ikigai Biohacking. If you like this video, please give me your thumb up and subscribe to my channel. And please leave your comment. Yeah. So how many of the food that I mentioned today that has a lot of soluble dietary fiber that you eat regularly? Thank you. Well, I will see you in the next video. Live with your ikigai!